In this video we will take a look at the slides of appendix. I will describe two slides of appendix. Both are stained with hematoxylin eosine. That means the nuclei of cells are purple and cytoplasm is pink. The morphology of appendix is similar than of the colon, except for certain modifications. First layer is mucosa. Mucosa consists of a simple columnar epithelium, lamina propria here, and the last layer of mucosa is Muscularis Mucosa. The next layer of the submucosa, loose connective tissue with the blood vessels. The next layer is formed from smooth muscle layers, firstly circular layer and longitudinal layer, and the last layer is serosa, loose connective tissue, with one layer of squamous cells. So now look at closely. Lining epithelium contains one layer of columnar cells. It's nice visible here, with goblet cells, which is full of mucose. The lamina propria contains loose connective tissue and intestinal glands. This is straight tubular structure, also called crypts of Liebekrien. These glands are not so deep, and there are less than as in colon. Lamina propria contains a lot of lymphoid tissue, but in this slide there is not present, but in the second slide is abundant. The Muscularis Mucosa is very often discontinuous because of lymphatic follicles, which may extend it to the submucosa. So it's here it's Muscularis Mucosa, a very thin layer of smooth muscle cells, but here it's not present. So the submucosa is formed from loose connective tissue and contains numerous blood vessels. For example, here is artery and vein, and also contains plexus submucosus Meissneri, for example here it's visible. The Muscularis externa consists of the inner circular layer. It's here. You can see longitudinal section of smooth muscle cells, and the second layer is a longitudinal layer. For example, here start and continues. Here, this is longitudinal layer of smooth muscle cells. You can see smooth muscle cells in the transverse or cross sections. Between these muscular layers is a parasympathetic ganglia of the myenteric plexus Auerbach. For example, sorry. Here is nice visible plexus Auerbach, and the outermost layer of the appendix is serosa. It's visible here. That means loose connective tissue, which is lined with one layer of squamous cells, mesothelium here. So this is one slide, and another slides of appendix. It's here, and in this slide, the lymphatic nodules in lamina propria and submucosa is nice visible. Here you can see Muscularis Mucosa here, and lymphatic nodules with germinative center, and these nodules is in lamina propria, in mucosa, and also in submucosa. And the lamina muscularis mucosa is not continuous because of lymphatic nodules. But in this slide, the muscularis externa, especially longitudinal layer. This is submucosa, circular, but especially longitudinal layer also contains lymphocytes, and the arrangement this layer is not visible, so it's not physiological but pathophysiological. So but there are a lot of lymphoid tissue in mucosa and submucosa. So thank you very much for your attention.